Okay, guitarist, how many times has this ever happened to you? You've been practicing for 2-3 hours a day, everything's going well, your technique is improving dramatically, you can pretty much play anything that comes to mind, and then you decide to take a little break. You know, maybe a day break. Oh, I'll put it down for a day and I'll come back and I'll pick it up tomorrow. Well, tomorrow never comes, and then your guitar sits around for 3 months unplayed. And then you finally pick it up again and it feels like everything that you worked so hard for, well, sounds like crap. So, and I know I've been there. As a matter of fact, I was just recently there, so I just figured it'd be a good time to record a video on this specific subject. So when you pick up the guitar again, here's some good things that you can do that's really going to get your technique going again. It's going to get your fingers and your mind back into shape. The first thing that you want to do, if your guitar has been sitting for a while, say 2 or 3 months, go ahead and take it into a store. Go find a reputable guitar tech. Notice I said reputable. A good guitar tech that's going to do a good setup on your guitar. Now what a setup is good for is action adjustment. Okay, so the action is the distance that your finger is at rest. Say if I'm here and then I push down to the fretboard, that is your action. Now my action is extremely low on this guitar because this specific guitar was designed for an extremely low action. So I have like a millimeter height action, you know, all down the neck. Actually, this neck is completely flat. This is a VGA Sean Lane model, by the way. So go ahead and take it in, have it set up, and actually ask about your action. You know, tell your guitar tech that you want a few samples, unless you already know where you like it. But some players prefer their action to be extremely low, like me, mostly because, you know, you can do, you know, more hammer-ons and, you know, things like that. With a higher action, you can't really do that as well, and I think you lose a bit of speed. But some players do like the higher action because as you bend notes, you know, they say that you can get under the strings a bit better. I prefer a low action. But experiment with that. Have your tech give you a few samples. You know, it only takes a minute to adjust. So have them give you a few samples, and that way you can go home with a guitar that plays like you want it to play. And also, go ahead and have them change your strings, or you change your strings, you know, whatever. But normally, they'll include that in a setup. Now, on this specific guitar, I use 10s, I think. Sometimes I use 9s, but the neck on this guitar, it's a shorter scale. It's a 24.5, I believe. So I use 10s just because 9s are a little too loose. Now after you have a good setup done, your guitar is going to play better and it's going to feel better. It's going to be fun to play, and it's not going to play like crap. Okay, so now that your guitar is set up and ready to go, what I would recommend is just start playing again. Now the first thing that you're going to notice, especially on your left hand, is your calluses are going to be a little softer than they should be. Now that's going to cause a bit of finger discomfort when you bend. You know, if you're doing things like that, it's going to cause a little bit of discomfort there. I can still feel it in my fingers because it's been a little while since I've played. So, but after a few days, your calluses will come back, and so all that finger discomfort will go away. You also notice that, wow, everything sounds like crap. Everything, you know, you're not going to have the endurance that you used to have, especially if you used to play faster passages. Pretty much everything is going to suck. Your technique is going to suck. Everything is going to suck. The things that you didn't think would suck are going to suck. But after a few days, you'll really see things starting to come back. And one other thing that I would recommend is practice with a metronome. Now, that's really going to get you back into shape. If you don't have specific exercises that you practice with a metronome, I would recommend taking a look at my video where I discuss left hand warm-ups, just real basic warm-ups like this right here. Basically doing that all between your fingers. Now that's going to get the finger muscles back into shape. And so if you combine that with just playing again and just the use of a metronome, you're really going to see things start to come back very fast for you. And I will link that video that I was talking about with the exercises. I'll put that in the description. And also, if you don't have a metronome, you can purchase one from Z Sounds. I have linked to their metronome in the description. If you do purchase through the links on this channel, it does help support the channel at no extra cost to you. Okay, so I'm sure some of you are probably saying, okay, Blake, I can do the exercises, I can practice with a metronome, I can just start playing, but how long until I don't suck? But how long until I get my technique back? How long until everything is where it used to be before I put it down? Well, I would say probably about a week or two of just constant practice, not 3 or 4 hours a day, of course, but just constant playing. And at least that's the way it is with me. Generally after about 2 weeks later, I can really feel that things are starting to come back again. So the reason that you lose your guitar abilities if you don't play for a while is because these type of techniques where, those kind of techniques, the hammer-ons, pull-offs, things of that nature, they use a lot of just finite muscles. And those muscles degrade over time. And it's easy to be frustrated, when you pick up the guitar again. It's like, oh, I haven't played in months, and you expect to be where you were, and you're not there, unfortunately. But again, just constant playing and practicing is going to get you back up to where you used to be. So, and then you can actually improve from there. Actually, for whatever reason, it seems that when we take a break from the instrument, we come back and we have a little bit more motivation, and we have, it just seems that we can play things better than we could when we left. So I guess that's a good thing. Pick up your guitar and start playing again.